Welcome to another episode of Royal Tour. Today it is bright and shiny weather in Denmark. I think it's approximately 18 to 20 degrees. Quite nice weather.
Yes.
A little bit of breeze.
Single clouds in the sky, but well, I like it.
Last time we left you with the ferry. Now we are heading to the mainland. Here you can see on a map how we sailed from Egger to Thiborner by ferry. From the ferry we drove along a dike to Rodding to visit Spottorp. This is the best preserved castle from Denmark and is located in the northwestern part of district Skive. As a visitor you may dress up like a knight, a squire, princess, and even for children there is special clothing. And here some pictures of what you may look like.
Oh, princess, what did you say? Did you invite me in your castle?
One look says more than 1,000 words. The castle is protected with a double-walled enclosure, with an earthen wall in between. The only entrance route is via a narrow road over a hang bridge to a port building in a wall of earth. Behind the entrance gate, the road leads over an inner channel, again with a hanging bridge, to the castle's gatehouse. Finally, you come to the inner courtyard. And I must say, a very impressive courtyard.
We entered the building at the Cellars. The Cellars at Spottorp contains a kitchen, storeroom, a servants' hall. The servants' hall is where the servants ate. And in the cellar was a kind of prison. The prison consisted a room in the cellar where some iron chains were built into the wall. Here prisoners could be kept chained until his lordship the bishop delivered his judgment. The storerooms in the cellar contained all the equipment and supplies that were needed: food, beer, gunpowder, iron, and the essential salt.
And welcome to the kitchen of the castle. This is what a kitchen looked like 400 years ago. A big fireplace where the cooking was done at the castle for high and low. Whole animals could be roasted here. In the 1500s they loved roast whole animals for dinner. The well of the castle. Inside the walls they fetched water for everyday use. And at times of war a well at the castle was vital. And of course they had no dishwasher, but they did the dishes by hand and the washing hot water disappeared into the moat outside. And here the faggot-fired oven. This is the formal entrance of the castle where the bishop ruled. You have to understand the time then, when the religious power was also the political power. The bishop's living room, with a toilet that emptied into the moat. One clock you can see on both sides, one in the room and the other can be seen in a hallway. In almost every room there is an information panel which tells about the actual room, in 3 languages: Danish, German and English. and here the centerpiece of the castle, the beautiful carved bed of the bishop, with all kinds of biblical images, as in the ceiling a cutout of the cross.
Here we enter the dancing hall. People in the Middle Ages and in the Renaissance loved to party and dance. One level above the dance hall, we find the bishop's hall. You have to close your eyes to imagine what a hall looked like at the end of the Middle Ages. This is where people entered the castle. This is where people sat on festive occasions, when the bishop gave dinners, good food and music. His lordship employed both trumpeters and fiddlers. As I close my eyes in this room, I struggle to imagine the smell of fine spices and the smoke from the large fireplaces, let alone the violinist playing the violin. A castle of his lord's bishop must have a church hall, a small church hall, a chapel. Here, tough soldiers could get absolution, here during the Mass. Here there was a smell of incense and the chanting of monks. There used to be a fancy entrance to the chapel. Thus his lordship, the bishop, could enter his little church with ease and in style.
This is the guard room. Here the soldiers could keep lookout about the moats, the lake and the fjord. On a clear day the island of Morse can be seen in the distance. When troubles brewing, the soldiers could wind up the bridge and the castle could be surrounded by water of all sides. On the outside of the castle you see what look like supporting pillars, but in fact they are drains from the toilets in the room at top of the castle. With one last look at the castle, we leave this beautiful area and go on tour again.
Ensholm is known for the bunkers that lie in the dunes on the beach and in the sea. They are German bunkers from the Second World War that formed a small part of the Atlantic Wall. An almost 2,700 kilometer long German defense line from Spain to the top of Norway.
This is all built in the beginning of 1941.
Here you see all the bunkers. They seemed like tumbling down from the dunes. But it isn't tumbling down, but they fall down because of the erosion from 1941 till nowadays in 2023.
This is another one of the many lovely coastal towns in Denmark. And while we are there, we do some groceries in a local supermarket in Denmark. It actually looks a bit the same as in Holland, and certainly not as big as, for example, Tesco in England.
Welcome to Ribe. We had the idea to visit
This historical place, and it's told that it is the oldest place in Denmark, even the oldest city in the whole Scandinavian. So they told us it has a must have to be there place. So we go there.
Yes.
When we walk through the shopping street of Ribe, we see water running through the center in several places. While walking and filming through Ribe, we want to show you these picturesque streets and half-timbered houses. Ribe too has been dealing with high water for years, given this flood marker. This is the famous cathedral of Ribe. And here we visit the Catholic Church.
Here we end our visit to Ribe. and end this video. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Don't forget to like or to subscribe.